You know what, guys? The New York Giants are going to start this season against the Washington Commanders, as we just heard. And it's going to be a fascinating matchup because this is where Russell Wilson's going to make his first start as a New York Giant. You know he's going to start, right, Chris? He's already been named the starter.
Well, he's number one on the depth chart.
And if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking it up right here. I do believe his first career, was this where he had his first career playoff start? Did he not win a playoff game in this building? Let's see. I'm trying to remember. Back in the day, Russell Wilson, yes, sir. First career playoff start as a rookie, went into Washington and beat him by 10.
Yep.
And then they wound up going to Atlanta for the, I believe, was that, yeah, that was the second round of the playoffs. Atlanta then went to the Super Bowl that year, I believe. And Washington, in this building, is where Russell Wilson started a remarkable run for the Seattle Seahawks, where he played in 2 playoff games in each of his first 5 years of his career, and twice won 2 playoff games in some of those seasons. Made the Super Bowl twice, won it once, had a chance, as we all know, to win it 2 times in a row, but did not. And we keep on saying about Russ over and over and over again. It's one of our favorites. He goes way back in the day with us, Christopher.
He does.
When we did the first ever Rich Eisen podcast
kickoff
special that Chris Brockman edited together.
2012 season.
And we called you up. I remember calling you up and saying that thing's locked. You're like, it's locked. I'm done.
We're good. We're ready to go.
And this is way back in the day, Chris, when you were one of those producers who were just like, really? You're going to make me do more work? That was back in your day. Now you accept it? Now you accept it?
That was one of those situations
now
where
you accept it?
We are locked to time. You want me to do what now?
That's right. And I said, we just got Russell Wilson. The Seahawks just said we can get Russell Wilson, the new rookie starter.
Yeah.
The guy who supplanted Matt Flynn. Despite the Seahawks paying him
a lot of money.
And he came on our show, and he's been a friend of the program ever since.
Sure.
And that said, the narrative for Russell Wilson is that he needs to, once again, go on a playoff run. Make the playoffs, go on a playoff run, and win a Super Bowl or make one for him to reach the Pro Football Hall of Fame. That he was on a rocket ship towards in his first 6-7 years of his career. And when he steps on the field in Washington, D.C., or Maryland, Virginia, whatever, when he steps on the field of the home of the Washington Commanders, the spot where he won his first playoff game of his career, it will be the 200th game played of his career. 200.
Wow.
And the reason why we bring all this up is because we haven't done this in a while. But Russell Wilson is today's participant in Who Wants to Be a Hall of Famer here on the Rich Eisen Show. Hit it.
Who wants to be a Hall of Famer?
Is that your final answer?
Is Russell Wilson a Hall of Famer right here and right now as he steps on the field to start week 1 for the New York Giants? Is he already that guy? Or is the way that his Seahawks career ended, his Broncos career flamed out, his one season in Pittsburgh, similar in many ways to his career arc of got the start when nobody saw it coming because, again, he had not been with Pittsburgh at all, and he gets the pole position, he gets hurt, he doesn't play, and then he gets the gig and goes on a remarkable run, and then disappoints at the end of the season, and they're done with him. One and done him. Now he's with the Giants. Does he need to do anything with the Giants of significance to make the Hall of Fame? Or is he there right now? I've got his career stats for you, folks. He is 16th all-time in terms of completions, which is 3,882. 16th all-time. He's ahead of somebody named Aikman and Montana. His career completion percentage just shy of 65%. 24th all-time. Ahead of Big Ben and a guy named Tom Brady. He's 17th all-time on the passing yards list of 46,000. 12th all-time with 350 passing touchdowns. Rushing yards, 4th all-time amongst quarterbacks with 5,462. 31 rushing touchdowns. That's tied for 20th all-time amongst quarterbacks. His passer rating is just shy of 100. That's 5th all-time, ahead of Peyton Manning and a guy who's going to be a first-ballot guy next year, Drew Brees. He won the Super Bowl, as we all know. 10-time Pro Bowler. He was the Rookie of the Year. He's won Walter Payton's Man of the Year. Passing rating leader in the NFL in 2015. He led the league in touchdowns in 2017. Nobody in the first 9 seasons of his career had more wins as a quarterback than his 98. His 250 or better passing touchdowns in his first 9 seasons. Only one of 3 such quarterbacks, Marino and Peyton Manning, to do that. Who wants to go first on this very thorny subject matter? Christopher?
No. No, Russell Wilson, there's going to be a case, I think, looking back, that he was not primarily the reason that they were winning a lot of those games. The Legion of Boom is going to take a lot of credit. Marshawn Lynch is going to get a lot of credit. If you look at personal accolades, you said it, only led the league in touchdown once, never led the league in yards, never led the league in completion percentage, never led the league in, let's see, what else? Never made first team All-Pro, famously has never come close to winning an MVP. Never was the best quarterback in the league, never going to go down as the best quarterback of his era. And I think the way his career is finishing up, you mentioned all the wins to start his career. Well, in the last 4 years, 23 wins. Russell Wilson, not a Hall of Famer.
TJ Jefferson, would you care to chime in on this subject matter as well?
Yeah, I'm of the belief that Phillip Rivers is in the Hall of Famer. I mean, we've had this talk before, Chris, and I don't think he gets in. So therefore, statistically speaking, I even though Russell does have the Super Bowl and Phillip doesn't, no, I don't. Based upon Chris just gave about 3 of the stats that I wanted to give, but yeah, it would take another ring, I think, for me to go. Yeah,
another ring.
Yeah, as of right now, no, I don't think so.
Man, 9 years into his career, if we had this question, would we have said yes? I think we would have said yes. 9 years into his career.
I think we would have said he's on the track, if he continues this pace, then yes.
But he has not continued the pace.
Absolutely not. The pace has fallen off the train tracks. We've never seen a career kind of flame out the way this has.
You know the way I feel about him. You know the way I feel about him.
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to keep personal feelings aside.
No, I know that. And so I in this conversation, I will place them aside and say I have to agree with you guys. Yeah. What does he need to do? So let's be positive here.
We got to win a Super Bowl with the Giants.
He's got to win one?
Got to win one.
What if he takes him to one?
Is he the reason that they're getting there?
Well, they're not going to get there if he doesn't play well.
I mean, if he's throwing up 4,500 yards and 38 touchdowns, then yeah, okay, that's going to be good. But I need to see that for 2 or 3 more seasons.
The expectation level for Russell Wilson with the Giants, nationally, I believe, is so low.
Oh, they think he's going to play half a season.
That Jackson Dart is going to play more games than him.
Yeah.
That Jameis is going to get a start some point or two because
I think Jameis is break in case of emergency, but I hear what you're saying.
But of all places that you can show up and show out to put yourself back on this track, in the same way that he won his first playoff game where he's going to start his first game as a New York Giant, when he starts his first home game as a New York Giant against the Kansas City Chiefs, it will be in the building where he won his Super Bowl. And again, he wasn't the MVP of that Super Bowl, to keep on making this point about all of that. But he doesn't make that Super Bowl, and they don't make the Super Bowl the next year with Pete Carroll, only to somehow, some way not hand it off to Marshawn Lynch, and they don't make it. They're not the team that we were referring to when the Chiefs were winning back-to-back games as the last team to do it, which would, I think, also add more to his resume.
Yeah, that second ring is a game changer.
Right, and the fact that they didn't get the second ring is because they chose to throw it instead of run it, and Belichick's defense,
read it.
It's one of the
came out of nowhere with a guy that
plays,
a guy that was deep down on. When Al Michaels is coming out here next time, we got to talk about where Malcolm Butler was on his.
He was like
his card
sixth on the
in
depth
front of him,
chart.
like exactly the fact that he knew exactly who Malcolm Butler was on the spot is truly unbelievable. But all I'm saying is, taking him to a Super Bowl, taking him to an NFC Championship game when everybody expects him to be benched at some point this year because it's going to be exactly the same results that we saw in Pittsburgh, and exactly the same result for him being the biggest dead cap release in the history of the NFL by the Broncos, and exactly why the Seahawks were like, we're done here.
If they don't win it, he's got to be top 5 MVP and get to the championship.
So then we put him back in this mix. Correct?
No. Then he's the trajectory is back pointing upwards.
Right, and then
got to do it again next year
to make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
the first 10 years of his career doesn't matter. His first 10 years of his career is one of the best 10 years of anybody's first 10 years of a career.
And a lot of people have forgotten about it because he's been so bad the last 4 years.
I just think this is a team that nobody's expecting to see anything coming. And we're going to see more of Jackson Dart than him. And if it's something completely different, I think that puts him back on this path for sure. But no more.
The arrow turns a little bit to go up, but it's still, he's got a couple years to go.
Sacked 560 times in his career.
He's one of the most sacked quarterbacks of all time.
And he's been to the playoffs 9 of his 13 seasons in the NFL. If he makes it 10 for 14 with the Giants, dude.
He's got 9 playoff wins. He's got an over 500 playoff record.
Right.
It's all impressive stuff. But 1 ring and 0 personal accolades.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.